Good afternoon, guys, and welcome back to Task Force Off-Road. In this episode, we're going to be summerizing the jet ski. Summerizing can be similar to winterizing, or it can be as simple as plugging in your battery, depending on how you winterized your jet ski. If you just fogged and flushed everything out and then blew air out of your lines, you're going to need to do this. If you did your oil change and your spark plugs and everything in the wintertime, you should be good to go. So, let's get into it. Okay guys, so what I mean by summerizing, and what we're going to be doing, because I didn't do any of this stuff when I winterized, is we're going to be installing new spark plugs, we're going to be giving it some fresh oil for the season, and then we're going to be putting the battery in. Once all that's done, the jet ski will be ready. It is that easy. Now, winterizing, very, very similar process, but if you changed your oil in the winter, you're not going to change it again in the summer. You already have fresh oil. I decided to change it in the summer, well, springtime. That way, I just have fresh oil for the entire season. It didn't just sit in the ski and in the engine for 4 or 5 months during the cold time. So, we're going to get it started. First thing we got to do for this GTX 155 is remove the deck lid, remove the seat, and then we're going to be able to get access to the engine, and I'll show you guys how to do this. So let's get into it. Alright, so it's going to be using a T30, guys. Now, underneath the front two is going to be a 10 mil, and then your T30. Now, before I get into the oil change itself, I'm going to do a good deep cleaning of my engine bay, so I'm going to skip that part because it's going to take me some time. Alright, the jet ski engine bay is now about a 10-footer because there's still so much to clean, but I did 75% of it. I'll do the rest later in the season. I found a little bit of stagnant water in there, so I'm kind of concerned. The carbon seal looks good, but definitely the first run of the season is going to be just like this, just to make sure that we're not leaking from the carbon seal. Hopefully I can find out where that water was. There was a couple loose bolts on the deck lid. It could have been from that over the winter time, but it was double tarped up, so I'm not necessarily sure where that water came from, but we're gonna find out eventually. If it does well on a lake dressed like this, then I'm not too concerned about it. But it was a good bit of water, so that I don't remember there being water in it when I took the battery out last winter, but we're not sure. But first things first, put the battery in, and then I'm gonna test crank it to make sure it still works from the winter time. So that's step like 3. So first we want to start the ski and let it run for about 30-ish seconds, not too long, not too short. And then we're going to pull our oil dipstick, and that is where we're going to drain the oil from. We're also going to take out our oil cap. Oh, yeah, a little warm there. I just sprayed some water, so you're going to see some steam. No big deal. Alright, so now I'm going to wipe this off and get our pump. I bought this nifty pump on Amazon. I'll link it in the description below, and it runs off your battery. It shows you the direction which it's going, so I'm going to push this down. Perfect. Now I'm going to get my containers and connect this to power and ground. Unfortunately, I'm just using some old coffee cups right now. I'm going to put them in my oil pan, but this is the best I have on short notice because I didn't think about this ahead of time. But it should let me measure out a good reading on these cups for how much oil I have taken out. So that is the bright side to using this. Okay. Now, should be able to pump it out. As we can see, our oil's coming through. Alright, swap swap our container out again. Okay, camera battery died, but we're almost out of oil here. So what we have to do then is now we plug our key in, which my tripod's resting on. Great job, mate. So plug our key in, and when we plug our key in, we're gonna hold down our throttle and then start the jet ski. And what that's gonna do is it's gonna basically tell the computer not to actually start the motor and just crank it. And what we're gonna get out of that is the ability to move the oil around and get it so we can get some more oil out. So I'm gonna do that one more time. For some reason, my brand new battery is almost dead, but one more time, and then we're gonna use it. Okay. And now, we should be able to get some more oil out. And that is about all she wrote. Now, I need to get that stuff done. But I'm gonna get a rag, because this stuff is kind of oily still. Now our oil filter's in here, it's an E10. So we're gonna take this guy out. Now we can go ahead and pump some oil out of here once you remove our filter. But now we're done with the pump. So once you replace your O-rings, we can take our new filter, we can put our new filter in. And then once our new filter is in, make sure we lube our O-rings up, and then we can go ahead and reinstall our cap. Alright, that took out approximately 88 ounces, so we're going to put approximately 88 ounces back in. Alright guys, our next step is going to be to replace our spark plugs. Now, they say they come pre-gapped. These didn't come pre-gapped. So, make sure you gap for a 2019 GTX 155. I assume throughout that kind of range of years, the 155 motors are all going to be the same. And it was 0.031 to 0.035 is the specification for the spark plugs. These came out at like 0.025 or something, so make sure. Again, I'll have part numbers in the description below for everything you'll need for this, guys. But now we got to take out the coil packs. Removing our coil packs is just going to be a T30. Now once that stud's removed for the wire, which probably grounds it, you can pull the studs out. We can clean them up if they're a little bit corroded or not, like that center one was. Make sure not to lose your bolts when you're doing any of this work. And then we can just go ahead and unplug our coil packs to give ourselves a little bit more room to play here. If you're unplugging it, and if you have some dielectrode grease around, feel free to use some dielectrode grease. That center one's a little bit difficult to get to with the oil plug there. Right, cool, so we got our coil pack out, and now we need a 16 mil, and I'm gonna need a bigger extension. There we go. Now, if you don't have a spark plug socket, because I'm not using one, what you can do once your spark plug is loose is use your coil pack to retrieve it. Coil pack in, and boom. I just noticed the cylinders are numbered. That's nice. Then we just got to replace our coil packs. Then obviously put the screws back as well. All right, guys, now that is all you need to do to summarize or winterize your jet ski. It's really, really simple. It's just a little basic tune-up and then making sure everything's flushed out for the winter time. I'll probably do this video again in the winter time and do a winterizing, but that's all you got to do. Again, if you did this to winterize your jet ski, you don't need to do it again the following season, okay? So this only you need to do if you didn't do the oil change, whatever, at the beginning of, or at the end of last season. So that's it, guys. I'll see you in the next video. Oh, but if you know what this is, well, you know I'm not done working today, so I have like 2 or 3 more jet ski videos coming to you guys very, very shortly. So I hope you enjoy them. I think they're going to be fun. Stay tuned, and I'll see you in the next one.
Yeah, it's that first day of first grade, that cute girl, your third day, that backpack, that snapback you've had since